In the last two videos, we learned how to use loops like while loop, do while loop, and for loop to repeat a certain block of code multiple times as long as the condition is true. Today we will learn how to create random numbers and build a guessing game. To create a random number, we need to use two functions, Srand and Rand. They come from a library called CSTDLIB. We need to include this library. So if I say include CSTDLIB like this header file will provide us with the functions rand and srand like this. Now how do we create a random number? What we need to do is first of all discuss the rand function. The rand function is used to create a random number. Let's go ahead and see it. I'll create a variable called randnum like this, and what I will do is I'll create a random number. How do we create a random number using rand? Let us see. So let's say I want to create a random number from 0 to 5. So I need the rand function to choose from 0 to 5 the random number. So let's go ahead and see it. How to do this is we will write rand like this, followed by a modulus operator and then 6. What this does, or what this means, is that we want to create a random number from 0 to 5. Okay, so the 6 here is excluded. So whenever you write rand followed by the modulus operator and then a number, what this means is that the range of values will be from 0 to this number minus 1. So that's why here it will get 0 to 5. So 6 is excluded. This is the range of numbers that this rand function or this whole expression must evaluate or generate. Okay, so let's go ahead and see something like, or let's go ahead and print the random number. So I'll say randnum like this, and let's go ahead and see what will happen, what it will give us. So let's go ahead and run this. As you can see, we got 5. So we got a random number like 5, right? What if I change the range of values to 7? What this does, or what this means, is that now the range of values becomes from 0 to 6 because 7 is excluded. Okay? Now let's go back to the previous example like this. So range of values are from 0 to 5. Now what if I ask you to change this range of value and become from 1 to 6? How do we do this? Let's go ahead and see it. What I will do is I'll go ahead and say something like this. I'll put this expression inside parentheses and I'll say 1 plus like this. So now let's go ahead and see what this expression does. So we know that this expression right here returns a range of values from 0 to 5, right? So let's say it gives us 0, okay? So what will happen then, that this 0 will be added by 1. So we will get 1, right? Now let's say it gave us 5, okay? This is the maximum value it could give us because the range of values are from 0 to 5. Now so it gave us 5. Then what we'll do is we will add 1 to 5, which will give us 6. So what this means is that the range of values will be from 1 to 6 because whatever value it will give us here, it will be added by 1. Now what if I say something like this? 2 by this expression. So whatever value will be generated by this expression, it will be multiplied by 2. So the range of values might be something like this, 0, and we have 2 by 1, let's say 2, 2 by 2 is 4, then we have by 3, which is 6, by 4 is 8, and by 5 it's 10. Because you know, 0, this range of values will be from 0 to 5, and each number will be multiplied by 2, that's why we got this range of value. Let me go ahead and run this program. As you can see, we got 5. Let me run it again. And we got 5 again. So, doesn't it supposed to give us a random value? Why it's always giving us the same value? Well, here's the problem. We need to use the function called srand. So the srand function creates a seed value for the rand function. So by default, the srand, first of all, the srand must always be before the rand. Okay? Now, by default, srand has a seed value of 1. And 1 is a constant value. So because our srand function has a seed value which is constant, what this will do is that rand function will always generate the same number at each execution. So what we need to do here is change the seed value and make the seed value not a constant value but make it a value that's changing over time. You get the idea? So the seed value must always be changing in order for the rand function right here to generate a random number. So the common practice to do is we need to include first of all a library called ctime. And like this library will offer us a function called time. What we will do is we will pass the time function as parameter or argument for the srand function. So this time function will take a value like 0. So what this does here is this will return for us the time in milliseconds, okay? And because time is always changing, that means the number in milliseconds will always be different. So the seed value is not a constant value like 1 right here. The seed value is something that's changing. It is a number that's changing. So by passing a seed value that's always changing to the Srand function, what this will do is it will allow the Rand function to generate different outputs. Let's go ahead and see it. So if I go ahead and compile right now and then launch, we got 5 again. Oh, we're getting 5 again because I forgot to actually save my file. Now I saved my file. Let's go ahead and see it. Or first of all, let me compile first of all, and then let's run it. So we got 5, then we got 3, then we got 0. Okay, so why we got 0? Because the range of values is from 0 to 5. So the minimum is 0, maximum is 5. Let's go ahead and say something like 1 plus and put those inside parentheses. Let's go ahead and see what we will get. So let me clear the interface, compile, and then launch. As you can see, we got 2, 6, maximum value is 6, and we got 1, minimum number is 1. So I hope you understood the concept of Srand and Rand here. So just a summary, Srand is the one who creates a seed value for the Rand. The seed value must always be a number that's constantly changing. Because time is always changing, and this function right here returns the time in milliseconds, and because this number is the time, of course, and time is always changing, that means this function will give us different output or different number at each execution. That is why the seed value right here will always be a changing value. So this will allow the Rand function to generate different values at each execution. So this is how you can use Srand and Rand in C++. And now let's go ahead and create a guessing game. So the guessing game we will give is that we will allow the user to guess the number or the secret number, which the range will be from 1 to 10, okay? So the user will try to guess this number, and we will try to tell the user if their guess is greater than the secret number or less than the secret number, or if they guess the secret number, then they will win. Also, we will allow the user to define how much chances they will give themselves. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with this code. Okay, first of all, I will create a variable called input user. This will store the input of the user. Next, I will go ahead and create a variable called secret number, and now we will generate a random value. First of all, we should always have the srand and the time 0, like this will create a seed value for the rand function. Now we'll go ahead and create the rand function. So we'll say rand like this, mod, where's mod? Okay, like this, mod 10. This range right here is from 0 to 9, but we want it from 1 to 10. So what we'll do is we'll simply add 1 to this expression. So 1 plus like this. Now we will allow the user to give us how many chances they want. So I'll create first of all a variable called chances and set it equal to 0. Now I'll say cout input chances or number of chances like this, okay? And now we'll allow the user to give how many chances they want. And next we will cin, or we'll take this input and store it inside chances, the chances variable. Now let's say the user gave us 5, okay? So 5 chances. The user wants 5 chances to be able to guess this number. So what we'll do here is we need a while loop. We need to allow the user to keep on guessing 5 times, right? So what I will do is I'll create a while loop like this, and the block of code that comes below will allow the user to keep on guessing the secret number. But what will be the condition? So basically, let's say the user gave us 5, right? So we need to allow the user to guess 5 times. And so at each guess, if the user didn't guess right, didn't guess the secret number, what we will do is we will decrease the chances. So subtract chances by 1. So we will decrease the chances of the user. At certain point, chances will arrive to 0. So once chances arrives to 0, that means the user doesn't have any more chances. What I could do is I could say something like this. Chances greater than 0. So while chances variable is greater than 0, we want to allow the user to give input. So I will say something like cout input your guess like this, okay? And we will take the user input and store it inside input user like this, okay? Now we need to see or tell the user if their guess is greater than or less than the secret number, or it is equal, so they guess the secret number. Let's start with the first condition, which will be if input user is greater than the secret number. What I want to tell the user is that their guess is greater than the secret number. So your guess, like this, is greater than the secret number, okay? But we won't stop here. We need to decrease chances by 1. Why? Because first of all, the user didn't guess the secret number, so we need to decrease their chances, okay? Now, we still have another condition, so we will say else if, and like this, and so what's the next condition? It will be input user, like this, input user less than secret number. So if the user guesses or give us a input that is less than the secret number, we want to be able to tell the user that it is less than the secret number. So I'll copy this and change this, is less than the secret number, and also we need to decrease the chances by 1 because the user didn't guess the secret value or number. However, there's a possibility that the user will guess the secret number. So I'll say something like input user like this equal to secret number. That means the user won. So what we'll say is you win, like this, okay? But there is no point anymore to continue the game because the user actually won. So what should we do is we need to exit out of the while loop, exit out of the game. So we need to stop the game. So in order to exit out of the while loop, we need to use the break keyword. So what the break keyword does is that it will completely exit out of the while loop. So once this condition evaluates true, we will print this message right here and exit of the while loop because the user actually won. Now, I want to add another condition. I want to say if chances equal to 0. I want to check if chances will become equal to 0. What I want to do here is I want to tell the user what is the secret number because chances are equal to 0. That means the user doesn't have any more chances and the user didn't guess the secret value. So I'll say something like this, secret number like this is the following. I will say secret number like this. And we could exit out of the while loop by saying break. Okay? So now let's go ahead and test this game. So let's go ahead, compile, and then launch. So input number of chances, let's say 4. So input guess, let's say 1, less than, so let's say 3, less than, 5, greater than, okay, so it should be 4, and I win. Okay, I did this in 4 chances, so 1, 2, 3, this was my last chance, but I did it in my last chance and I guessed the correct value. Now, let's go ahead and repeat this, but I won't guess anything this time. So I'll say in input chances, let's say 3, I'll say 1, 1, 1. As you can see, the secret value was 2, so I had 3 chances, 1, 2, and 3, and then the chances right here is equal to 0. That's why this message was printed, and so the game ended. This is Rand and Srand and how you can create random numbers in C++. Also, this is how you can create a small guessing game. Now, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with me in this C++ tutorial series. Now I invite you to click on one of these end screens that will appear right now, and I hope to see you in the next video.